here we are again. We've had another violent weekend in Kansas City. And as you and I were talking, I was just saying just how deeply saddened I am about the lives that we've lost over the weekend. And my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone who suffered the loss of loved one of violence, to all the friends and families that are out there. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. I know sometimes it feels, I don't know, every time I say that, and my thoughts and prayers are with you, I actually do pray, and I'm often thinking of the families that we serve, especially when there's young people involved, especially when there's women and young mothers. And I just think about all of those mothers and fathers out there, brothers and sisters who are waking up today with another empty chair at the dinner table. And I think about that often right now because we're in the midst of the holiday season. Mm-hmm. And Christmas and Thanksgiving won't be the same for a number of families in our community. And I just wanted to take this moment just to let the community know that we're thinking of them and we're mourning with them, but we're also angry, and you've heard me talk a lot about that saying that I have, that hope has two daughters, anger and courage. Be angry about the way things are, but they have the courage to do something about it. Mm-hmm. And every day I am, filled with hope, but that hope is in some ways filled with anger because of the way things are. But also I am encouraged by those who I work with, like yourself and others here at AdHoc, by the passion that we all have and commitment that we all have in improving our community as well. So, Deasia, so you as a young person, and I think this is important for people to understand that roughly 30% of those that we've lost just in Kansas City, Missouri, just using Kansas City, Missouri as an example, have been youth and young adults that are 24 years of age or younger. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that statistic doesn't change. Whether it's this year, last year, 5 years, 10 years ago, is roughly about the same. And what saddens me about that is when I also look at the suspects that are involved in many of those shootings and many of those homicides, is the same age as well. And so for me, it just says that our future of our community is killing itself. So I want to know from you, before I start spilling all my thoughts, what do you think about what's happening here in Kansas City and what could be done about it?
Well, I feel like it's a normalization of not just, I don't feel like it's just that age group. I feel like it's the people above them also. Mm-hmm. Like watching videos and different things being on social media. It's a lot of normalization of violence. Like, I know it was a woman who, not in Kansas City, but she was killed on Facebook Live a couple of days ago. Just shot and killed on video, and it's like normal. Yeah. On Facebook or on social media, like death has become a normalization, and it's just like, oh dang, and then people just move on.
One thing you said in terms of folks normalizing it is something that we've been talking a lot about here at AdHoc in terms of, generational trauma, meaning that someone in the family has been impacted by violence or a traumatic event, and then they pass that on to the next generation, their offspring, and so forth and so on. Mm-hmm. And same thing as it relates to dealing with trauma and or coping with it and or even reconciling when you have a argument or conflict. The way in which you deal with it is something that has been passed down, which you've been taught. And so a lot of people say that violence is a learned behavior. But I think that also, if that is indeed a fact, that is what makes us have violence as a public health issue. Yeah. Because it is a behavioral issue. And I don't want folks who see this to think that just because we're talking about behavior issues, we're couching this discussion in mental health. It's not. A lot of us who lived life a little bit have experienced some form of either depression or anxiety or what have you. Those are also mental health issues. And so we can't just blanket the issue of violence to contribute it to a mental health issue. Of course, mental health is a part of that. When you talk about normalizing it, when you talk about just how often and frequently people are exposed to it,